Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you guys on some more current latest news now. The whole story is now based on Jose Mourinho at Manchester United, because basically we don't know where his position lies. But according to some journalists, some news from the journalists, that Jose Mourinho is going to be sacked by Manchester United. Reportedly he's going to get around £100 million spending spree in January, but reportedly, as I said, according to these journalists, Jose Mourinho won't be given the opportunity to get this £100 million, because currently he won't be given the opportunity to get this £100 million, because currently he will be sacked as well, and currently the owners of this club and the owners and the board basically want to see a new man come in to manage Manchester United, because reportedly it said, when we was in that good run of form, the performance wasn't best, but when we was in that good run of form, Jose Mourinho was going to be backed. He was still convinced we can get the top four, and reportedly he was going to get £100 million spending spree in January to spend on players. And he's discussed this with Ed Woodward, and he has got plans for the January. Transfer window. But a couple of journalists have currently said this as well. So his tenure at Old Trafford could be over, because we know Jose Mourinho wants a new central defender, a strong central defender. He's looking to offload Eric Bailly and Raw to invest some money to get that top quality central defender as well. And reportedly he wants an attacker as a backup option for Romelu Lukaku as well as Jose Mourinho. So basically there's a lot of things that I've updated today in the press. We know a lot of things have updated that have been updating me on my phone. Reportedly, there were there's been talks yesterday that Man United are in the race to get Zidane, who's currently managerless at the moment. Was at Real Madrid, a lot of years in his managerial career, won a lot of honours. Also played for them in his senior career, and also played for Juventus in his senior career, and Bordeaux. Did Zidane, as we all know. But reportedly, he'd been in discussions with his current representatives as making him coming to managing English football. And Zidane reportedly also Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain are interested in him as well. I don't think Bayern Munich are satisfied with the current manager they've got at the moment. Bayern Munich are the best team in Germany. Paris Saint-Germain are the best team in France, and them two are also interested in Zidane. So potentially there has been talks about him coming to Old Trafford. He hasn't got any experience of managing or playing in English football. There's also been talks of Conte stepping in at Old Trafford if Mourinho is sacked. Conte, as I said, he's got a good, fantastic pedigree in the Premier League, because he proved it with Chelsea. He won 3 titles. He won the league with Chelsea in his first season. Won the FA Cup with Chelsea as well. Also, managed Juventus, managed Atlanta, managed Italy. Also played for Juventus in his senior career as well, Conte. So he has won a lot of honours where he's been as a Conte. But potentially he could come to Old Trafford. Could Conte as well? There's been a few managers' names thrown in the hat if Jose Mourinho is sacked from Old Trafford. But currently now the board and the owners want to see a new man coming Old Trafford. And a couple of journalists have talked. Jose Mourinho will not get the opportunity to get this £100 million spending spree in January to spend on players, because presumably he will be gone by then. I was reading in the press, basically the expectations are now for Jose Mourinho as it stands. If Manchester United do not get top four this season, he's still convinced we can. He said by Christmas, if Manchester United don't get the top four this season and we don't get into the Champions League next season, Jose Mourinho will very likely be sacked as well. And this is basically what's being mentioned in the press today. But today, to also confirm you guys, and to confirm you guys that the current Fulham manager has been sacked. Djokovic, I think they're calling, because obviously Fulham have got the worst goal difference this season. They're currently sitting bottom of the league. They've lost in the last 6 games, but they had invested a lot of money. They had spent quite a bit of money in the last summer window. They spent around £100 million, did Fulham. Reportedly he's been sacked due to Fulham's bad run of form. So reportedly it has confirmed today in the press that Fulham have appointed the new manager, and it is Claudio Ranieri, the ex-Leicester City manager, who won the Premier League with Leicester in that fairy tale season for Leicester, who did very well. And he got sacked from Leicester as well. But reportedly he's been appointed the new manager at Fulham as Ranieri, who won the Premier League, as I said, back in 2015-16. So that's some more news to update you on as well. That's just been confirmed today. But currently, as I said, Manchester United, this is his third season now with Jose Mourinho. He's spent just under £400 million on players. He's only won 3 trophies since he's come to the club, and this is potentially our worst, start to a season, especially under Mourinho. We didn't even have this much of a bad start as David Moyes, who only lasted 9 months into the job. We didn't even have this much of a bad start, under Louis van Gaal, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I think that considering I think the City result has basically put the nail in the coffin, and Jose Mourinho, for me, is basically on the brink of getting sacked. So a lot of United fans want him out. I just don't think he's got the stature at Manchester United to command us in this position. He's had a lot of disputes with the top players since he's come to the club. I think definitely the weekend. And tactically, he doesn't have a clue. His team selection's currently wrong. He got 3 players in the last summer window. Doyle's been injured. He's hardly played though. Fred, £50 million, should have played at the weekend. He was sat on the bench. So this is why Jose Mourinho is getting a lot of criticism. And also, as I said, supportedly, some journalists have come out and said Mourinho won't get the chance to get this £100 million to spend in January. So basically, he could be sacked soon, and Man United are thinking about getting a new potential manager in the club as well, because potentially, considering our history, considering Jose Mourinho's history, Manchester United should now have won another Premier League. By now, with the money we've spent, with team we've got, and obviously, Jose Mourinho, has had a very, very good pedigree in the past, so we should be in a lot more of a commanding position than we're in now. With 8th, we're 12 points behind top, 7 points behind top 4. So it's not looking very, very good, is it, guys? Reportedly, Manchester United, there's a bit of transfer news here. Reportedly, Manchester United have showed an interest in West Ham's orphanage. Reportedly, it come out in the Metro today, in a couple of media outlets that are currently orphanage. West Ham, I think this is now his second season with West Ham or something like that. He's proven in the Premier League his orphanage, because he's played with Stoke in the past as well. He's also had experience of being with Inter Milan and Werder Bremen.
You're going to shower because Sue's on?
Not yet.
Right.
Guys, sorry about that. I am back. But yeah, reportedly I know he's been into Milan and Werder Bremen in the past as orphanage. Reportedly West Ham rate him at around £40 million. A few teams are reportedly interested because himself and his current representative have confirmed that he currently does want to leave West Ham as orphanage, and he wants to play in Champions League football, reportedly in the press, and he wants to join a big team, reportedly, and does orphanage. I think he'd maybe do well at Manchester United, would orphanage, but that's according in the Metro as well, to update you on. Reportedly, there's been news about Alexis Sanchez as well, that reportedly his agent's been in discussions with Real Madrid. Sanchez may want to leave Manchester United. There's been discussions between his agent and Real Madrid. We know PSG have been interested in as well. PSG were linked with Alexis Sanchez last year. He's only scored 4 goals since he's come to the club. He's good during his Arsenal days with Wenger, good with Barcelona, good with underneath. But I just don't think he's fooled himself, right at Manchester United. He's currently on £500,000 a week. He's only been here since January, so potentially there has been rumours of him maybe going to Real Madrid as well. We know United have still got a lot of players coming to the end of the deals. As I said, Juan Mata is a player coming to an end of his deal. Whether he stays or not, I don't know. I hope he does. Herrera coming to an end of his deal. Reportedly, Man United are in talks of signing Ashley Young and Valencia another 1-year deal at the club. They've experienced the good times here as well. Valencia's been suffering a mouth injury lately. Valencia, we got Wigan from like 2009, was it? Or something like that. Also to Ashley Young. He's been playing that full-back position for quite a long time, not that right-hand side, but I think he's more of a right winger. He played as a right winger for England, played as a right winger during his Aston Villa. Reportedly, Man United are in talks of securing them new deals as well. But yes, as I said, Mourinho has confirmed that he has confirmed that he wants to sanction Bailey off. He wants to sanction Rojo off because at the moment we know the current team at the moment, as we all know, currently confirmed as well. Martial's coming to the end of his deal. He's currently been withdrawn from the France squad as well. He's been in fantastic form lately, to be fair to him. 5 or 6, 5 goals out of 6 for Anthony Martial. For me, Lukaku, who hasn't been in great form this season, compared to last season, he come on in the Manchester City game. As I said, he won us the penalty, but and also the board a bit. It's basically said in the press some of the players are annoyed with Mourinho's tactics and annoyed with his reluctance to drop Nemanja Matic. We know Mourinho does have a good relationship with Nemanja Matic, but when he's been fully fit, he has featured in every single Premier League game as Matic. So Jose Mourinho hasn't really spoke about Nemanja Matic's bad performances this season. So some of the players have had disputes with him over that situation as well. With the Paul Pogba situation, reportedly, it says in the press, Juventus could offer one of their 3 players, for him to go back to Juventus. I thought he was very, very good during his Juventus days, made 179 appearances for 5 years or so, made 179 appearances. He currently left Man United in 2012 on a free transfer to Juventus currently because, under Alex Ferguson, he wasn't getting enough first team action. This is why Paul Pogba had currently left. We know he's had disputes with Mourinho since he's come. We know he's currently being injured. This is why he missed the Manchester derby. This is why Mourinho put Fellaini in his spot. But for me, he should have started Fred. But according to Raiola, his current agent, Paul Pogba's agent, is confirmed. And Pogba have mended the relationship up now. So potentially for me, we need a centre back, we need a striker as well. But reportedly, Eric Bailey, he wants to sanction Eric Bailey off, who's been here since 2016. We got him for Villarreal 30 million. Still a very good composed, strong tackler, and a very, very good defender. But reportedly, Mourinho's looking to sanction him off as well. But as I said, the main part of this video is about Mourinho. He's likely to be sacked now by Manchester United because his style of play is woeful. It's totally comparison to Jurgen Klopp's and Pep Guardiola's and all that. Jurgen Klopp, very, very good manager, had a good pedigree with Borussia Dortmund. He's got a fantastic philosophy and he's doing very, very well with Liverpool. Same with Guardiola, potentially the best manager. His style of play, he's got great managerial credentials as Pep Guardiola, as he's proven with Barcelona and Bayern Munich in the past. He's broken records, won 24 trophies in his career, and City got 100 points last season as well. So Mourinho's position at the club is currently under review, especially. But a lot of United fans want him out of this club right now. Um, they really want him out of this club. My opinion, I haven't really said much about it. Regardless of the Newcastle result just before the last international break, regardless of that result, he was going to be sacked. So to the teams we've lost this season. But then all of a sudden went on a good run of form. The board started backing Mourinho, and all of a sudden we've lost to Manchester City. More of the pressure increases on Mourinho's job at Manchester United. So yeah, guys. But for me, Sanchez, I think he needs to go. He's not really, showing an impact at Manchester United. He's proven in the past in the Premier League. I think he's been good at every other team he's been at, but I just think he's struggling in the Manchester United team. Marshall and Rashford are still young. They've got a lot of time to grow and develop. They are fantastic players. Don't get me wrong. Recently Marshall and Rashford have been full in Lukaku's spot in that central position. We know Sanchez operated there in the Juventus game. But for me, with eighth in the table, we shouldn't even be there. The expectations of this club, with the size of this club, with the history, nearly 3 decades success we had under Alex Ferguson. I know since then, we've had two bad managers, Moyes and Van Gaal, but I thought Mourinho had been absolutely phenomenal at United. To be honest with you, the pedigree he's had, he's proven it at Chelsea, and it just basically hasn't worked out. So basically, Graham Souness and Gary Neville on Sky Sports had a debate. He had a debate whether Jose Mourinho is potentially getting the best out of this team. That team for me is good enough, to at least get the top four. It's just Jose Mourinho needs to know his best 11, and this is what Jose Mourinho needs to suss out as well. But potentially for me, things need to improve because Bournemouth were very lucky to win, late goal. Newcastle very lucky to win after being 2-0 down, late goal. Juventus midweek in the Champions League, late goal. So potentially, we could have been in a worse position than we're in now. So luckily we're not, because we basically should be up there challenging. So Manchester United can't afford now any more defeats. Reportedly, with Martial, his agent's been discussions about getting him a new contract. His current one comes to an end soon. He has the option to extend it, but reportedly it says Man United are willing to offer him 45 million a year and sign him a 5-year deal at the club. He has been here since 2015 as Anthony Martial. We've got a catalogue of players who are coming to the end of the deals. We've got 9 or 10 players that are coming to the end of the deals, and Mourinho just needs to stop playing defensive and stop parking a bus against the big teams, because you can't do that against Manchester City and expect to get away with a point there. It's just basically not going to happen, because the goal difference is phenomenal. They've hardly conceded any goals. 36 goals this season of Manchester City. Since Fergie's gone, the fear factor's gone from the club. We're no longer a team to be feared. Nowhere near on the same levels as Manchester City now. We're nowhere near on the same levels as the European teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG. We're nowhere near Juventus. We're nowhere near on the same levels of them teams at the moment, because we're basically just not performing, and it's just absolutely atrocious. So for me, I potentially want to see another manager come in to suss out if he thinks the majority of these players are good enough to play for United. Change it around. If you had to get a clear out, then get a clear out. But potentially, I just think some of these players just don't potentially want to play for Mourinho. Like Sanchez admitted, he doesn't like Mourinho's managerial style. Sanchez isn't getting along with a lot of the teammates at the club. But potentially, as I said with Matto as well, I like him on the right, but I prefer him in the number 10 position in the middle. That's where I would prefer Juan Mata, to be quite honest with you. But reportedly, a few journalists have said it won't get to the point where Jose Mourinho is going to get £100 million, because he will be. So reportedly now, especially after the result at the weekend, that it's likely Jose Mourinho is going to be out the door. I don't know when, but reportedly, in another press, if he doesn't make Champions League football for next season, we don't get in the top four, obviously, Mourinho's job is likely he's going to be departing Old Trafford as well. But if Mourinho is sacked too, would you like to come in? I want a great manager with great credentials, to suss this team out, to make the right decisions. I want this manager to have great inspiration, and do what he's doing right. I want everything to be right at this Manchester United club, and everything's not right at the moment. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes, on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.